Hello, everybody, and welcome to something that you might not have been expecting to be watching here today. It is the Camber Club Cars. We've got a lot of people here today, and a lot of exciting talent that we are watching here in the Cupra Club Cars. How many people have we got showing up today? We've actually got we got 9 people, 9 drivers. You know, that's pretty good. That's pretty amazing. I'm gonna just quickly grab the stream and I'm gonna just put it on our server so that the people can watch it in so people can watch it. We are streaming on the Road Racing channel, but this will be undergoing some rebranding for next season, as this will now start hosting a lot of league racing people are going to watch. But yeah, I'm excited to see what will happen, and let's get started. I'm gonna just stream. It's gonna be a channel. I think we've got cars are going out as far as I can hear. So the qualifying is now underway. So let's get watching. So on board with Big Phil. So today we're at the Nurburgring. We're on board with Big Fucking Phil, and a lot of drivers have expressed how happy they are to get racing in this league. Something that we have, I've been looking forward to watching for a very long time. This game that is, it's made for these kinds of cars, so I'm excited to see how this looks. Just gonna cycle through a few of the cameras here, see if we can get one we like. Maybe this sort of far chase one that's quite good. But yeah, got some static cameras. I like that. Okay, Marcus Ozils. So let's just see what the current lap time we've got. Is Big Phil with a 2:10. And apologies for my bit rusty with this game. I'm not used to commentating on Assetto Corsa, for that matter. We've really just put this league up in about a week's time. So thank you for everyone who's showed up here. We've got 10 people driving today, which is a big attendance for something we've literally just started. So thank you, everyone, and I'm excited to see how this goes. Big Jamal, Big Jamal is not that far behind on this one, man. He's got oh crap, I've just realised something. I have not downloaded the skins. Oh dear. I think I might want to do that. I'm going to do that real quick. Apologies, lads. The stream's going to just cut out for a second while I download these skins. Because I am the owner of this league, and I have bloody forgot to download these skins. I think that's a bit embarrassing. But yeah, let's just do that real quick. I was wondering, because these guys were doing some liveries for ages, and then it turns out I can't even see them. That was a bit weird. But, I'm gonna just join the game now. So do not worry. Isaac Med once again joining us here. Hello, Mano. Hi, man. Happy to see you. Hope you enjoy this. It's not a lot of people from Row are racing here, so I thought it'd be good if we stream this as well. It might be in your ballpark for the content you're wanting to watch today. But yeah, just let me know how the stream's looking on your side, and as we load in very slowly. My game's having some issues, so we're just gonna have to wait patiently. I think we still got some time, so we do need to put a password on the server. That's maybe a good idea. Okay, anyway, loaded in. Just let me know if you guys can see that or not. I might need to just double check. But yeah. Black screen of death. Not usually a good sign. Never a good sign. Why is my game not loading? This is not good. Oh dear. I hope we have a countdown. Oh my days, man, what is this? Okay, there we go. Right, still got plenty of time, thank goodness. Right, can you guys see that? Yes, we can. Okay, we're back here. Apologies for that. On board with CJ, Charlie Jempson. So this man is currently on pole. He's been doing a lot of practice, this lad, and he's excited to see if he can win his first race in Camber Club Cars and really set a statement. He's one of 4 drivers to set a lap time. Everyone else hasn't set a lap time yet, so there's clearly not been much practice going on. Oh, I say that. Is that the one and only? I'm gonna have to alter it. It's Jaden Brooks, prime Jaden Brooks, for that matter, setting I think it's a 1:8.269. I'm just doing the math in my head there because I can't see the lap time. But yeah, let's see if there's any other cool graphics we can get up. Yeah, let's pop that there. Just some gears. No. Performance delta. No. Pedals. I think some pedal movements will also be quite cool. Just, you know, some driver telemetry that you guys can look at. This is not very professional, I understand that, but allow it. Allow it. Nah, I don't dig that track description. Need to get that off. Anything else? I think that's it. Cool. So I think Jaden Brooks comfortable with P4, but I say that he's down to P4 now. As Big Jamal now in the car that we can really see that beautiful Mercedes Cupra. Bit of an interesting mix, but we're gonna try, you know, he's there, and he's currently getting tailed by CJ, who I think has got pole position. So the first ever pole position in the Cupra Cup going to Charlie Jempson, the number 6 driver, followed by James Knox, Ryan Riddell, Big Jamal, Jaden Brooks, and I think a new driver, Marcus Ozils, Alex Kakira, P7 rounding off the grid, Abdel Baki, Feed the Ollie, and then Big Phil will be starting in those respective positions, and I will not be on the grid, so, you know. But there we go. What a session. What a good way to kick off qualifying. I'm sorry we couldn't watch most of it, but, you know, at least we were here to witness the end of it, and that's what matters in this sport. Let's quickly just look at the chat real quick. No one speaking, but you know, allow it. It's chill. It's fine. It's the first race of the league, so we're obviously not going to see too much action going on. But yeah, we've got some side-by-side racing here. I think everyone's really just getting to grips with how you know how it's working here. Let's watch Big Jamal. This livery is beautiful. Give it the screen time it deserves, because my goodness me, has he done any changes on the inside? I'm actually quite interested to see. He's got, yes, as you can see, the steering wheel in blue. Got some blue tints on the steering wheel. So really, really beautiful. Oh, okay. What is this lad doing? What is my man doing? This is a bit of an interesting take he's doing as he goes into the pits. I rate these cameras, by the way. I really rate them. So Big Jamal qualifying P4 for this race. And yeah, that's it. Now the race, 30 minutes. So I'm going to run through a grid order just for now. And that is CJ P1, James Knox P2, Ryan Rattel P3, Big Jamal P4, Jaden Brooks P5, Marcus Ozils in P6, Alex Kakira P7, Big Fucking Phil in P8, Feed the Oli in P9, and Sheikh Abdul bin Abdallah in P10. So I'm quite interested to see how this one goes. I'm interested to see how this one goes. Be careful not to hit that. It does say I'm in the pits, right? Just making sure. Oh no, it doesn't. I can't. Oh god, I'm gonna have to. Okay, well, I'm clearly not in this race, lads. Just please understand that I'm not in this race, so ignore that. But anyway, here we go. 5 laps. No, not 5 laps. We got 30 minutes of racing. Let's get a good TV camera. Oh goodness me! Come on, we're gonna start any second now. This cannot be the camera we're watching on. Alright, 5 red lights here. In no, 6 red lights actually. And it's lights out, and away we go for the first race of the Camber Club Cars. It's a good start from the Charlie Jemison, but James Knox is on his tail as the 2 Britons go down into the first turn here. Who's going to prevail out in front? Riddell looking to see if he can get a bit of a sneak peek down into the first turn, and I think James Knox has just managed to get the lead from Charlie Jemison, the pole sitter, and Charlie's been pushed off. I'm not entirely sure by who there, but it's a great start for James Knox of the British Principality, and Ryan Riddell currently following behind him now. He's looking to see if he can sniff a wee move out, and James Knox leads the entire grid, followed by Ryan Riddell, CJ, Big Jamal, Big fucking Phil up in P5. What an amazing start for Big fucking Phil, as he has managed to jump, I think, about 10 positions there to see if he can get. Oh goodness me, I'm absolutely lost for words. We've actually had a relatively clean start. Oh goodness me, 2 was that at the back there. Oh my goodness me, that's Abdul Abdallah, who has had an absolutely monumental car send-off, and I think that is Jaden Brooks. Jaden Brooks, what's happened? Someone who showed so much promise and potential in this race, already out of the Grand Prix. What's happened here? Oh goodness me, I'm still on the track. Alright, okay, thank God. Okay, cool. Anyway, James Knox leading ahead of Big fucking Phil. What on Big Jamal? He's had a bit of an incident there, and looks like that car is taking a lot of damage. Oh, he's been rear-ended by Alex Kaikira, and that looks to be the end of Big Jamal's Grand Prix there, unless he can get it back on track, and it looks like he has. But what the hell's happened there? Alex Kaikira's completely gone into the back of him. That will definitely be a slam dunk penalty. But goodness me, not the start we were expecting. Definitely quite a clean one, but not the start we were expecting. So James Knox and Big fucking Phil. Oh no, what's happened there? Big fucking Phil's been sent round. And Sado, Main, or Big fucking Phil, as he'd like to call himself, into the grass after an amazing start. Feed the Ollie now currently in a hot pursuit to see if he can get James Knox here. Let's go on board with the driver who is famous for equating himself with a duck. As you can see, the face of concentration down into this corner here. And you can see Ryan Riddell actually just behind him, approaching at a rate of knots. But all this battling and all this kamikaze stuff in the back. And that is CJ, Big Phil, Jamal, and myself in the pits here. As they look to see if they can get the cars fixed. But wow, that was not a great start for these drivers here, and all of them are in the pits now, trying to see if they can get some of this damage repaired. I think so. I think that's what's happening at the very least. I hope they've not retired already. But yeah, let's quickly go into the chat and let's see what's happened here. James Knox currently leading, and Big Phil is currently out behind James Knox. Let's get a good onboard camera. There we go. This will be our onboard camera from now on. So, Big fucking Phil currently chasing Jamal here. And, you know, these two have showed some good potential and some good pace. But it's not the first time that we've seen such a big crash before in this league. As Sheikh Abdul Abdallah, you can actually see on the map that he's flashing his bloody indicators. Currently I'm in P5 right now, Sheikh Abdul Abdallah. So, you know, representing the Saudi continent in P5. So good start for him. He was obviously in a very interesting spot and a very weird spot at the start of this race. As we saw him go off in the distance there, and I'm a bit surprised that, you know, he's up in P5, but, you know, anything can change in this race. No pit stops, just a straight up pursuit to the finish. So let's see how it goes. No safety cars, no pit stops, no yellow flags, nothing of that sort. It's just pure hard racing, and obviously we'll police at the end, but at the moment right now, no, we're just gonna see how it goes. Anyway, let's see if there's any battles going on up the field. We've got everyone's sort of spaced out a wee bit now. James Knox is really starting to see if he can pull the gap out, but Ryan Riddell not too far off him, as Ryan Riddell just comes round the corner there. So he's looking to see if he can, you know, close that gap a wee bit. Feed the Ollie as well, following behind in P3, as well as I'm not going to call him Ozone Layer, Ozils, Marcus Ozils, currently in P4, and Abdul Abdallah, someone who we were all very happy to see if he can maybe, like, you know, be competitive in this league, but, you know, actually seeing it happen now is beautiful, as he takes a bit of on off there, but he's still going, so it's good things for him to come. CJ, who was the pole sitter, now currently in dead last, so as you can see, his car's taking a lot of damage, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of clips to report at the end of this one, but that's a bit of a shame, because he had a really good pace, a lot of practice, and, you know, it's a bit of a shame to see this happen. But obviously we've got debate about whether we should do a double header for next week, or if we should just use a different track. So we'll see then. We'll see then what happens. James Knox currently leading the Grand Prix at the moment, but obviously time will tell if this gap ends up slowing. As we can see, Ryan Riddell currently following behind him. So yeah, I'm interested to see what exactly happens here. As we can see, Ozil's actually pulling up to feed the Ollie here, so let's watch this battle on board with Marcus. Now, in these cars, it's all about trying to see if you can get the line right into the corners. You want to brake in, go nice and slow, and then have a good exit out of the corner. But it's obviously very difficult if you don't know where your opponent is placing the car. So it's very, very important that not only do you lose time trying to make more time, but you also have to be very careful of what your opponent's doing, because if they suddenly have an off and they try to rejoin the track in front of you, it can really hamper your racing line for a good few corners. But at the moment, it's oh, as I say that, Ollie currently going off there, and like I said, rejoining onto the track. I don't think there's been much comprehension there. Not much of a kerfuffle, very clean overtake, and Ozil's up into P3. Beautiful stuff. Ollie, his race is not over yet. He's still got a good chance to see if he can come back. And actually, Abdul Abdallah can maybe get involved in this fight as well. If he manages to you know, if these two keep squabbling each other, then Abdul Abdallah could actually come into P5 here. Who's in P5, sorry. And, you know, can get himself involved, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of getting involved, Riddell trying to do that with James Knox as he's closed the gap from 4 seconds to 3.4 seconds. So, you know, good angle here to see how the race is panning out. As Marcus Ozil's currently pulling on this lead here. Bit of an off. Will feed the Ollie. Use that as an advantage to get up into front. He's got a very good run. You can see that car buckling under pressure as you try to get it in front. So yeah, watch this battle, ladies and gentlemen, because we might not get another one for a while. Oh, it's a very, very deep lunge from Feed the Ollie. But he's gonna try and not do an Ollie. He needs to be very careful here. Right. How is he gonna approach this corner here? Let's go on board. Let's find a different camera. Okay, this is the only cameras we have, so allow it. Let's go for this hood camera here. Goodness me! That was an amazing line from Feed the Ollie, and he's going to send it down the inside. But Marcus Ozil's still keeping it together, trying to see if he can maybe keep on him. But that position has been surrendered, and Feed the Ollie taking his third place back. Wow. Good racing, lads. But we still got 20 minutes to go. The first third of this race has been completed, and Abdul Abdallah is closing that gap, ladies and gentlemen. So watch this space. See how it's going. Meanwhile, CJ, our pole sitter, has cleared Alex Kakira, and now he's on to big fucking Phil. Both drivers who got, you know, absolutely shambled at the start of the race. Is he going to go for a move here? Don't think so. I think he's keeping it halal for now. Big fucking Phil. CJ around the outside. Charlie Jemson. Is he going to go for the move? It's a switcheroo. And now it's a drag race down to the first corner here. Sado gives him the bit of the squeeze. But I think Charlie's going to see if he can keep it going side by side down to the first corner. Charlie's got the better line. But big fucking Phil might just have one fucking last moment. Here's a bit of touch and go. And CJ spun it around, but he's kept it going. And they're still going in this race. A collision like that in Formula cars usually means it's over. But thankfully, these cars are robust. And CJ can keep it going. I don't know if that's a racing incident, but it'll definitely have to be looked into. And all this kerfuffling means Alex Kaikira, the man who shafted Big Jamal out of a race contention, oh my goodness me, these lot are absolutely scrapping it out at the moment. And Alex Kakira is currently just watching in the background to see if he can maybe bring it. Speaking of watching in the background, Ryan Riddell brought the gap down from 3.4 seconds to 2 seconds. So James Knox needs to up the pace here at the moment. Otherwise he might have a bit of an issue, as Ryan Crab Riddell might actually crab his way up into P1 if James Knox is not careful. Charlie Jemson still battling with big fucking Phil here. And he goes for a beautiful move down the inside. He made that work. Great driving from Charlie Jemson, who, like I said earlier, and like you all know, got shafted. And he's taking a bit of a shafted line there, and big fucking Phil's looking to see if he can make the move now, side by side into this corner here. Who's going to be on front? Oh, Charlie Jemson banging and touching, and he's still kept it going. What the hell am I watching here? I am used to the slightest of contact pushing people off. And like that, like I just said, big fucking Phil currently having a very bad line. This thing goes side by side. You guys need to stop touching each other. And Charlie Jemson's wiped big fucking Phil off the road here. Goodness me. Ladies and gentlemen, that is abysmal. Good racing. Obviously we had a couple of touch and go moments there, but taking Big Phil out of the race was not how I intended this battle to go, and that will have to be looked into at the end of this race. As that is our first retirement from the race, Big fucking Phil. A shame, because he had some really good pace, and I was really expecting him to show us some big promise. 18 minutes to go in this race. And Ryan Riddell is closing that gap down, so I don't know if James Knox is struggling for pace here, or if Ryan Riddell's just got like a second wind at the moment. But these are the two we should be watching for now. Him as well as Abdul Abdallah. I never thought I'd see this man actually racing someone for potential here, for position. Sorry. While we watch him, let's quickly go and see what the chat is saying. If anything, no, chat's relatively quiet. So I think the racing is speaking for themselves. As Abdul Abdallah now eyeing up a move on Feed the Ollie here. The man with no headlights and uses indicators for navigating, even though they never really tell you where he's going, is currently trying to see if he can line up a move here. Could be his first proper overtake of the season. Let's watch this on board with Abdul Abdallah. What is he going to do in this move? Is he going to go for a move, or is he going to stick it? I think he's going for a move, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side into this corner here. What's it going to be? Is he going to outbrake himself? It's a slight track extension for the Saudi driver, but I think he's just managed to keep it going. That could have ended quite badly. But he's kept it going, and he lives to fight for another day. Look at that. Just hear that engine sound. Just hear those upshifts. Those are beautiful sounds. The brakes squeal down to the corner here. Feed the Ollie once again, not the optimal racing line. And that allows Abdul Abdallah to sniff out an opportunity here. Is he going to go for a move? Is he not? We're going to wait and see. There's a very good opportunity to dive down the inside here, but Abdul, he knows his limits. And oh, that's a side on impact. That's not what you want. They basically just, they kind of just steered into each other there. That's a bit of a racing incident if you ask me. But speaking of racing, Ryan Riddell is somehow now on the back of James Knox. So keep watching this space, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back on it. And I'm sorry that I've missed this overtake here, but Abdallah looks to have gotten past. Feed the ollie. Beautiful move. Absolute sender. And we are now at the halfway point of this race. So Abdallah just needs to maintain this fourth now. And obviously I don't know how penalties will look and things, but you know, it's looking good for the Saudi driver who has shown much competition in other leagues before, but now finally seems to be in a race in a race competing position. So really happy for this man. Can he maybe even bring it to Ozil up ahead in P3? We'll have to wait and see. But feed the ollie, you know, I don't think he's going to give up just yet. It's really just down to the lines, you know. You got to be very good with your lines. You got to obviously going a bit wide there, not optimal. Feed the ollie is going to be, you know, using that to his advantage, and you can see that Abdallah is, you know, he's struggling under pressure a wee bit here. This could be the first time he's actually racing for like a merit-winning position. But you know, watch the space. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, I'll tell you what space to be watching. It is James Knox and Ryan Riddell. These two, they have a lot of racing from time to time, and most of it never really ends cleanly. So time will tell how it goes for these two. Let's see how it goes. Ryan Riddell really he can sniff that victory out. He can see it. You can see it happening. But James Knox, you know, he's already been robbed of a championship this season in a league that we will not mention. So I'm pretty sure he will be very vexed if this win doesn't come his way as well. As does that feed the ollie in the pits? Feed the ollie. There's no need for a pit stop, man. There are no pit stop rules. Feed the ollie. I think I'm going to join them just to say that. Apologies that I've not specified, lads, but there's no need for pit stops in this race. Just for information. But yeah. Speaking of insane battles, watching James Knox on board and Ryan Riddell both weaving their way around this track, and you can literally see the man in his mirrors, bro. It's a bit of a terrifying sight. So he needs to be careful here. He needs to, you know, time his positions, his movements right. Keep it clean, keep it calm, and keep it collected. Down into this turn we go. Very nice and forgiving turn, this one. You can keep it very clean. You know, get some good inputs out of this one. Face of concentration, as we can see on James Knox's face at the moment. But also on Ryan Riddell, as we watch him approach James Knox. But James Knox, I think now finally we've got to this point where, you know, he's able to, like, you know, he's able to see where his competition is now, and now he knows, like, you know, catching is an easy thing, but like trying to actually get past James Knox here, that is going to be the battle. So I will watch this go. Oh, what's happened there? And James Knox has been punted off, and I think Riddell is just gonna let him continue. Fair enough. No penalty will be applied in that instance. It's definitely not ideal, and there will definitely be some disciplinary action. But Ryan Riddell is now going to see if he can go for a move now. And he's looking, and James Knox is giving him as much space as possible, because, you know, this part is very hard to work two cars around. And Riddell slips past James Knox, and he gives him the position. But James Knox is not going to give up just yet as we go down into the next few corners here. Ryan Riddell is a new leader of the race, but James Knox is not going to want that to last for much longer. Clean racing, lads. Keep it clean. That's what I always ask of you, lads. But James Knox, you know, he's still got 10 minutes to go, and that is a sign of faltering for the British driver. And you can see he's waving his wheel in agony and frustration for being hit off the racing line. Obviously, Ryan gave him back the position, but, you know, he's definitely got damage on that car for dropping the gap back that much. It will definitely need to be looked into, but Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. We saw that happening for a while. Speaking of a battle that's happening, we're watching Alex Kakira now, trying to see if he can eye up a move on Feed the Ollie here. So, oh wait, Alex Kakira, calm down, lads. He is trigger happy on that throttle. You need to be careful. You need to be careful going into those moves, though. That could have ended much worse than I thought. You know, it's very easy to drive these cars, but it's also very easy to ruin other people's races if you're not careful. So we've seen that with Big Phil. So we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. But this is the battle we could be watching. Oh my goodness, both drivers going off there. Feed the Ollie, very, very lucky there that Alex Kakira also bottled the exact same corner. That could have ended quite badly for Feed the Ollie, but he's been given God's saving grace there. I'm not too sure about that line though, mate, but you know, whatever works for you. These cars don't tend to, you know, buckle under pressure unless you brake that late, Feed the Ollie. But he's still keeping it going. It's looking a little freak, looking a little intense, insane. Oh, very aggressive line from Alex Kakira there. He needs to be patient. He needs to be patient. He's not being patient, and that's his issue at the moment. He needs to be patient. The boy needs to be patient. Very, very, like, sort of, like, panicked braking under this corner here. You need to keep it careful, my guy. You got to keep it on the track, which he is doing. But, you know, a sense of panic that I'm seeing here. He doesn't want to finish last in this race. But, you know, he's there. He's competing. Something that he usually doesn't get to do in other races. Speaking of competing, James Knox, you know, he's not losing time, but he isn't making time either. Yeah, he's not making time. It's not being seen. And, you know, Ryan Riddell, he's had that pursuit up for a while now. Oh, I don't know, man. I've driven these cars obviously, and I know what the braking points are, but watching it from a different camera, it's definitely a bit of a weird feeling. I'll be real. And James Knox, he's sniffing out for that first win in Camber Club Cars. I think everyone is, to be honest. Speaking of sniffing, Alex Kakira sniffing the gravel there. He needs to just learn how to exit that corner more safely, because, you know, that's what's compromising his run into this section here. It makes you lose a lot of time, so he needs to be a bit more careful when approaching these corners. Meanwhile, James Knox, beautiful livery, by the way, by far one of my most favourite. I love D Thief's livery. Big Jamal he's currently in P20, quite a mile away. And I'm a bit of a shame because, you know, he's a very good driver. I'd like to see him, you know, bit more involved, but at the same time, one can only get involved in so many fights. Let's see what Abdullah's doing. And like I've been saying, oh, that looked like a very slow exit. Like I've been saying to you guys, Abdullah has actually been closing the gap to Marcus here. I'm quite excited to see if this man can get here. Yes, I'm annoyed that is. Oh no, what was that? Oh, a lot of people seem to be going off at that corner. You could really see with the you know, the run, you know, the lines. You can see that a lot of people keep running into me. As I'm watching in the chat here, a lot of arguments between Sado and CJ. We're gonna do some post-race interviews, obviously, with the winner, the runner-up, and, you know, as many interviews as we can get. I'd love to have a bit of interviews to let you guys hear the thoughts of these drivers. But yeah, you know, you gotta just you gotta just who is that? Is that Marcel going into the pits? Have these drivers been underfueling their cars? Have they been? Why? I need to ask these guys why they're going into the pits.